Okay guys, so the tools you'll need today for this oil change is a 15mm socket. I'm using my 3/8 ratchet. You'll need a drain pan, somewhere to put the old oil in. And I have this full synthetic 5W20 from Napa. They're having this beautiful sale where it's only $2.99 a quart, and got this Napa oil filter. We'll be changing this as well. And you also need something to lift the car with, like a floor jack or whatever, and some jack stands. Make sure the car is nice and secure when you have it up off the ground. And it's sea metal all the way around, so you won't have a problem finding the lifting points. So we'll get right to this oil change. Okay, so now that you have your car secure on jack stands, you want to come under here, put your drain pan for your oil right under the drain plug bolt. And as you can see, I have my socket and ratchet on here already. And whoever did this last put it way too tight, or my 3/8 ratchet just can't get it off. So I'm gonna have to go grab my 1/2" dry ratchet and try to loosen this up. Or either that, or you can probably put a little piece of pipe at the end of this ratchet. But yeah, this thing isn't budging right now. For some reason, places like to put the drain plug bolt too tight. But we'll get started on that in a little bit. As you can see, I got my 1/2" dry ratchet now from Stanley, because my 3/8 one wasn't doing the job on that drain plug bolt. So we'll just get right under here, take that off, get this on here. Still feeling a little tight, but we're gonna wrench on this and then I'll get back to you guys and show you the rest. Okay, so it took a little more effort than it should have, but we loosened it up. Make sure this is lined up with your pan so you get nothing on the floor. But my awesome auto instructor, he gave us these floor mats so your garage or anything won't get dirty. So I'm gonna get my 3/8 ratchet back on here. Or actually, I don't have to. I'm gonna do it by hand. But while loosening this, you want to keep a little pressure on it so it doesn't like fly all over the place. At first it's going to, because it's hot. And yeah, so let's see, line this up a little better. Oh. I have gloves on because it's hot. I just drove this thing like 30 minutes ago, so keep pressure on it. Let them pull. As you can see, it's coming out good. Make sure you don't lose that. And yeah, just wait for this to drain all the way out, and then we'll put the new oil in. Okay, so when it starts getting down to little drips like you can see, or hopefully you can see, but once it starts dripping like that, you could just get your drain plug bolt and put it back in there. Hand tying it for now, that'll be good. And just tying it back in there. Then after you tighten it back, we'll get to work on this oil filter, which is in an extremely convenient location. So that should be easy, and we'll get right back to that. Okay, so now we're going to get to work on this oil filter after you have the drain plug snug back on. You don't want it too tight, just a little. And this oil filter is how it's supposed to be. I didn't bring my oil filter wrench because you could probably just do it by hand. Yeah, by hand you could do this, because these are only ever supposed to be tight like a quarter turn after the gasket hits. So we were taught to let the oil from there drain out a bit. As you can see, it's just pouring out. And most of the time you just take it off, but I want to limit how dirty the floor gets, or this drain pan and floor mat, so I'm just going to let it drip out a little bit. There shouldn't be too much oil in there, probably just half a quart. So I'll show you the next step after this. Okay, so after you get the filter off, I just put it right down there in my drain pan. Where the oil filter, was located right here. You want to come on the other side of it with like a paper towel or a rag or something to clean it off. Make sure there's no leftover gasket right there or anything like that, because if there is, it'll be double gasket and it will just leak all over the place when you put the new one on. So just clean it off, make sure there's nothing there, and yeah, you should be set. Then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so after you got everything situated with this old filter, got it cleaned off, let it drain and everything, you want to grab your new filter, take it out of the packaging. All you really want to do is compare and contrast them. See that they're the similar shape and size and everything. Yep, and they're the exact same. So what you want to do is get some of your new engine oil, 5W20. Open that up, and you want to set a little bit of that new oil on top of this gasket. So stick your finger in there, get some of that new oil, just rub it around the gasket like that. And if this engine oil filter was in a different spot, say like facing upward, what I'd do is I'd put about half a quart in here, fill it up, and then plug it back in. But since it sits sideways like that, it'll be kind of hard to do and the oil will just fall out. So we'll just proceed to the next step. Okay, so you got the O-ring, you got it lubricated. So what you want to do is come up right here where the oil filter belongs. Make sure you wipe that off to make sure there's no old O-ring left. Just all you want to do, put this on by hand, just tighten it. Actually, I'll just give you a little tip on this real quick too. So you want to just spin it back on. Sorry that the light's tripping out right now. So once you feel that gasket hit and it sets nice, you want to just give it about a quarter of a turn. You don't want to over tighten these because they become a pain to get off, and yeah, we'll mess up that O-ring. So about right there, or a little bit more. Right there is a good spot to have it. It feels nice and snug, not too tight, not too loose. So that should be good. Right about there. Okay, on to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to start pouring the oil back in after you have the drain plug tight and the oil filter back on. You want to get your funnel. Make sure it's not all dirty inside. You don't want to contaminate your brand new engine oil, so just place it down in there. Then I'm going to place the camera down for a little bit while I'm doing this, just to make sure the funnel's right. So just put your funnel in there. Grab your new oil, and I read this takes 6 quarts of 5W20. This is full synthetic oil, so not chump stuff. And you can't see it on video right now, but to make the oil pour out smoother, you want to turn the bottle sideways. So I'll show you a demonstration right now. So you would want to tilt the bottle like this instead of like that to make sure it comes out smooth. So we'll proceed with the next. Okay, so I got all the oil in. What you want to do, get your funnel out, get every last strip in there. Just putting my funnel down there. Then we'll get the reservoir cap, plug it back in. Again, don't want to make this too tight. So you just completed your oil change on your 2005 forward 500. And there's one more thing you should do, and I'll show you that right now. Okay, so the very last thing you want to do before driving off and stuff like that, you want to kind of prime it, make sure the oil pump puts all the oil, makes sure it gets to everything. So just turn the key to the on position real quick like that, turn it off, do it again, back off. I usually do this 3 times just to make sure. So you just want to keep an eye out right there on the oil light. Turn the car on. And there you go. You see the oil light turned off, and you should be good from there. Alright, see you guys next time.